Wake up, wake up, wake up!
What?
Hey, have you not heard that scuttlebutt?
Your butt?
No, the gossip, the buzz, the who said what.
What the hell was that?
What's up, space pirates? I am Dr. Disaster, the ever-charming captain of this fleet. And today, we're going to talk about the Little Mermaid's box office situation. Of course, the word situation is a euphemism here, because the proper description is downright catastrophe.
What is this? What is this? Where's all the money?
That's as good as money, sir. Those are IOUs.
These days, in the Disney hemisphere, everyone wants to discuss this rumor that Star Wars might be sold off in order to pay off Disney's financial obligations to Comcast. I can't personally confirm the truth of any of that. All I can do is look at the company's hard numbers, which are available to the public, and that's what we're going to do today. The Little Mermaid, which was supposed to be one of Disney's biggest films this year, is just another example of the company setting their fortunes on fire.
Everything burns.
The only box office question at this point is how much money will the film actually lose by the time all is said and done. With that in mind, I want to hear what you think. Will Disney attempt another major live-action remake of their old classics, or will they have learned their lesson? And if you think they'll do another remake, which one will it be, and how will they try to modernize it this time? In any event, get your schadenfreude ready, because we're going to celebrate the failure of another Disney piece of shit movie.
It's the simple things in life you treasure.
We'll start off this analysis by having a look at the spin being put out into the world by our favorite people, journalists. You know, the people whose job it is to keep a public journal of the goings-on in the world. And of course, there's no better way to describe what's happening in the world than by filtering the truth through the lens of the journalists' dear corporate overlords.
Sarcasm? You think?
This article comes from Collider. The Little Mermaid sails past new milestone at the global box office. Wow. I mean, that sounds really impressive, doesn't it? It sounds like this movie is doing really well. Tell me more, you jackass. Is The Little Mermaid a hit or not? The answer changes with each new layer of context that you bring to the table. On the face of it, the fact that Disney's live-action remake of the classic 1989 animated film has now passed the $400 million mark globally is worth celebrating. But when you consider that more than half of that has come from domestic theaters, the achievement loses some of its value. And then, when you take into account that the movie cost a reported $250 million to produce, minus marketing, and remember, for future reference, that he said this, minus marketing. We will circle back in just a couple minutes. But when we take into account the cost of the movie, that $400 million number doesn't look so special after all.
No shit, Sherlock.
If that $400 million number isn't special, then what the hell was with this headline then? These pieces of human feces know that most people don't actually read these days. They know that people won't dig into their articles and call out their bullshit. They know they won't get to the bottom of things. People will read headlines and that's it. And this headline is designed to give cover to Disney so that it looks like they're doing brilliantly. because it's all smoke and mirrors. It's all designed to make you think that it is safe to continue investing in this company. It is all designed to make it look like their ideological position is actually a lot more popular than it is. Continuing on in the article, it says, the rule of thumb is that a movie of this size needs to gross twice its budget in theaters to break even, which means that The Little Mermaid, after 2 full weeks of release, is still in the red, and it's currently pacing to conclude its global run with around $500 million, which would barely put it in the clear. Wrong, wrong, wrong. At least this idiot understands that only half of the box office goes to Disney, but what the article fails to take into account is that pesky little marketing budget. The author mentioned it earlier, briefly, as you may remember. Now we're circling back because the author conveniently forgets about it when bringing up how much money this movie will lose the studio. Let's do a little math here. If The Little Mermaid breaks the $500 million mark, which I question, but if they were to break the $500 million mark, then Disney will get to take home roughly $250 million. That will account for the production costs of the film, it's true. However, this Google search tells me that Disney spent $140 million on marketing. What about that money? In order to make it back, Disney will need to bring another $280 million at the box office, meaning that anything less than $780 million at the global box office will be a loss. Now, I don't know about you, but if I were going to invest $390 million into something, I would like to make money on it. Disney is about to lose money on their $390 million investment. That is a massive, stinking pile of shit. At the time of this recording, the total box office haul is a little over $414 million. No matter how these doofuses spin it in favor of the soulless corporation, Disney is going to eat shit on this one. It seems their plan of making divisive content and blaming it on the people who don't like it in order to drum up sympathy points isn't going well. Not in this era, where they've replaced creative storytelling and practical effects with celebrity-infested remakes and CGI. You've got to think, compared to the hand-drawn original Little Mermaid film that a writer had to adapt an original screenplay for, and a composer had to write an original score for, and artists had to develop original concept art for, this is about as lazy as it gets. This is like tracing over somebody else's drawing and then wanting a big medal for it.
I'm here to tell you right now, we don't care.
That's just it. Nobody cares. The only thing Disney had going for them in this film was the casting choice of Halle Bailey. The Twitter mob who demanded a modernized version of our old classics were definitely pleased to see her as Ariel. But everyone else? Well, just take a look at the box office numbers. Take a look at how much this is costing Disney. And take a look at how movies like Aladdin and Lion King and The Beauty and the Beast all pulled in over $1 billion. But not The Little Mermaid. It is falling well short of its contemporaries. They've estranged everyone who isn't part of the pink-haired Twitter mob. People in the rest of the world are tired of this uniquely Western idea that we have to race swap characters and make certain demographics of people look good, while others have to be dragged into the mud. It feels like an alien appendage grafted onto whatever story it shows up in, and people all over the world are rejecting it. That's why in China, where there are 1 billion people, over 1 billion people, they have made less than $5 million on this movie in China. That is absolutely pathetic, and I think it is hilarious. Absolutely hilarious. Because in place of creativity, as I said, they have just pumped out celebrity-infested remakes and CGI. That is because, as Tolkien said, evil cannot create, it can only destroy. That is all these wokesters are capable of. But it leaves me wondering, will Disney keep doing these soulless remakes, or the only way to generate buzz is to be divisive and drive away the people they need to make these expensive movies possible? Will they drop all the bad CGI? Will they actually put some creativity into something that isn't preachy and ideologically driven? At this point, I fear that's like asking a fish to stop swimming. And all I can do is giggle sardonically at their gradual collapse. Thanks for watching, me hearties. If you haven't already, your captain is inviting you to subscribe to the channel and become a part of the crew. Life as a space pirate may not be glamorous, but there's always plenty of booty.